Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast, The Pondering Star. Our guest today is Miss Anusha Devanga. She is a poet and a schoolmate. She is currently doing her masters in computer science. Join us as we take a walk through how Anusha writes and structures her poems, how she got her writing habit, and some of the poems from her new book, The Ballet of Solitude, the interesting times that we both shared in 11th and 12th grade, and much more. This episode was one of the most awaited ones and more was like a dream for me because this was a podcast where I sat down with a poet and had discussions about writing and poem and how the behind the scenes actions goes on behind writing a 16 line poem. I very much enjoyed this episode and I hope you do too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Anusha Devanga. Hello Anusha, welcome to Pondering Vista.
Hi.
Yes. Uh, yeah, the college is going great. For people who don't know, she's
Yeah, all is
studying.
going amazing.
She, but can you tell what you're studying, where you're studying, and stuff?
I'm studying a master's degree in computer science at Northeastern University.
Mm-hmm.
The main campus is in Boston, but I'm in Portland, Maine.
Nice. Oh yeah, I saw yesterday to check out your time zone where you are. You are like almost
Yeah.
like exactly opposite to me on the map.
Oh, yes, it's very cold up here.
Oh yeah, but I would be killing for some cold weather now. Have you heard about the weather in
Yeah.
Bangalore?
Oh, yeah. You guys need rain over there. You guys
Yeah,
need rain.
there were people dancing and stuff yesterday because it rained in Kangeri or something for some time.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it was like a proper like Barsore Mega Mega
Wow.
moment. Yeah, but it is hot. I recently went on a Sikkim trip. Oh, and
Oh,
there,
Sikkim, how was it?
oh, it was very nice. But the transportation is,
Yeah.
yeah, transportation is a bit long and stuff. You have to travel a lot, but it was
Mhm.
very nice, like mountains and stuff. But
That's so cool.
yeah, the main important thing was the temperature. It was like always around in single digits,
Were you
and
just happy?
oh my god, my body got acclimatized in like for a week we are there, and then when I landed back in Bangalore, oh, it was like landing into a boiling pot.
Were you just sad to be back?
Oh, very sad. And then the next day I went to office just to for the AC.
Just for the easy, of course.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about your book and stuff, but then while we are on the
Of course.
topic of engineering, I saw
Ah,
you have done a lot of Blender stuff.
yes, I work in virtual reality and a lot
Yeah.
of that is Blender based.
Yeah, I had no idea. I have worked in on Blender from in like second year when I was
Oh wow, what did you do?
I was basically into game dev, so I thought I'll learn
Oh,
Blender
that's
and
so
do all
cool.
that stuff. Yeah, I was learning a lot back then, and then I was like, I should probably get into some proper this thing. And then during that time, there was this club recruitments happening.
Hmm.
One of the clubs had a position for a media role. So it was a blender
Ooh,
role where you had to create animations for the media page. I was like, cool. I mean, I'll get like media experience and this will also happen. And then I started working and then I got burnt out because of my laptop, or I don't know, maybe I wasn't cut out for like that creative work.
game dev does that to you.
Yeah,
So
oh
I've
my
been told.
god. Oh my god. Yeah, true, true. That is true. And then before I knew it, internship season is here and I have no idea what DSA means.
Ah, yeah.
The trauma. Yeah, so that
Oh
happened.
yeah, that is.
And that's when I like stopped doing much of Blender and started doing like.
So cool. I did not know you
Yeah,
worked with Blender or
I
in
was like
game dev
going through
actually.
your LinkedIn page or something for like seeing what all
Ah.
stuff you do. And then I see the diamond with the Blender thing. I'm like, is this the Blender? What is going on? How have you not posted anything like on anywhere? I would have seen something if it was just related to
Uh,
Blender.
my LinkedIn is pretty dead at the moment. I'm trying to revive it.
Okay, okay.
But yes, I worked extensively with Blender and Unity.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
heavily interested in virtual reality. It's what I work in.
Are
So
you still
most of
doing virtual reality stuff in Masters also?
yes, I work as an RA for a professor here,
Uh,
and it is also based in virtual reality.
oh, nice. Your major project was also, I'm assuming, in AR or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I really like it. It is a relatively
Oh,
new
yeah,
field, though, so
it
the
is
job
a shit
market
ton of
is
fun.
a little wonky.
True. But to do it is a lot of fun, I'm assuming.
It is
Uh,
amazing. It is a lot of fun.
Even I was thinking of doing this. Have you heard of this site called From Nan to Tetris or something?
No,
Okay, yeah.
but
So
please tell me.
Nan to Tetris is basically what it sounds like. They start from NAND gate chips and
Okay.
build all the way to a working computer that on which you can play Tetris. So
Oh,
the goal
wow.
is to play Tetris only using NAND chips.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, that is very
Oh
cool.
my God, that is super cool.
And they build their own machine code, their own assembler,
Yeah.
everything. That's very nice. I'm thinking of building it, but I think it'll take a little more time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm currently like in
That's so
between
cool, though.
places. Yeah, it is.
You're currently in between places.
Yeah, I want to get settled in my corporate job first, and then I'll start this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
To be fair, it's already like 6 7 months, but yeah, a couple of months more, and I'll
It
start it.
takes, yeah,
Yeah,
it takes its time.
yeah, so true. Oh yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
Why are there 111 poems in the book? Do you believe in like angel numbers and stuff?
No, I do not. So when I was trying to decide how many poems need to be there, I did not really have a figure for what is big and what is small.
Mhm.
And I write a lot. So I was just gonna pick a number that was around 100 and 111 just looked good on paper.
Oh, okay,
But
nice.
yeah,
Uh, I was like 90% sure this was some angel number stuff that was going on here.
no.
How did this come about though? Like, have you always been writing? I don't know. Like in 11th, 12th, have you been writing or like is this the engineering?
Yes.
Is it?
I have been writing continuously since I was 16, since 10th grade.
Oh,
I have written before that, but I have gotten into it since 10th grade,
hmm
and I write a lot.
You by continuously you mean you have like a schedule like weekly, twice or something like that?
Not really. I think at some point I tried establishing one, but
hmm
putting that sort of restriction on it just makes it harder to write. So
hmm
you just have to believe that rules are not meant for this kind of stuff, that you can't be creative if you put rules on it.
hmm
Uh, so I just write whenever I feel like it, but it amounts to a lot of poems. I count them at the end of the year, and it's usually around the 200 a year range.
Oh my
So it's a lot of
God.
poetry.
Yeah, you write almost every other day. More
Yeah,
than that
almost
actually.
every
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah, is that still going on? Like, do you still write that much?
Yes, I do. I still write around the same. I think I used to write a little more
Uh,
when I was younger. When I was 17, I think I used to write a whole lot more than I do now, though.
okay, yeah.
teenage angst really, fuels the sort of fury that you have. And as you grow
True.
older, you tend to calm down a little bit so you don't have a lot
And
to
then
say.
accept stuff, and you're like, what is that? It is
Yeah,
what it is.
like it happens. It's okay.
True, true. Oh, have you heard the new Taylor Swift album that dropped yesterday or today for you? I don't know.
I Yeah,
Huh.
it was midnight my time, and
Okay.
I've gotten through half of it, or almost half of it.
Oh, okay. How's
But
it?
it's an amazing album.
Oh, nice.
I absolutely loved it. I was very excited when she dropped the album name and it said the Tortured Poets Department. I was like, this is meant for me. This is my calling.
Awesome. This, wait, are you a Swiftie though? Is your opinion biased?
I I will not call myself a Swiftie because I will
Okay.
not know the tiny details and the Easter eggs, but I absolutely love her music.
Yeah, that I got it. That's not a Swiftie. Swiftie is supposed to be like
Yeah.
super obsessed with her and stuff.
Yeah, no. I don't have the energy for that.
Yeah, calm life, chill life.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh, how you have been writing from 16, a lot of poems you have in wherever. Do you
Yes.
like how did the idea come about? Ki I should maybe publish this, or was it some friend pushing you? Ki, you should post this. They're so good.
So I used to write on an Instagram page, and
Mm-hmm.
there was an ad from a publisher on that Instagram page saying, hey, we're going to make an anthology with a bunch of poets across India, and we're going to collect poems that I've written, put it in a book, and there's a small fee if you get selected, but you still get a publishing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I published there. It was a anthology called Champagne and Chandeliers, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my poems was selected for that anthology, which sort of a part of that deal was my first publication would be free. They would print it, they would ship it, all of it would be handled,
Oh,
and
okay.
I get profits only. So once it got selected for that, I started working on my own anthology, which is how that whole thing came about.
Hmm. Nice, nice. Oh, it's out of a Instagram post. Or like,
Out of an Instagram ad, yeah.
yeah, nice. Positive sides of social media.
Yeah, it's a surprising.
No, no, it happens. I
But
mean,
yeah, Writer's Pocket was, yeah,
uh-huh.
you get a lot of these ads. And often times I would overlook them because back
Spam.
then when I was 18 or 19, it's a fee is still a fee that I needed to pay, and I did not think I would have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
done well even if I had paid for it. But when Writer's Pocket came up with their ad, I'm not really sure what drew me to it, but it just seemed like a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had enough material to write an own publication, write an own book if it
Mm-hmm.
came down to it, which seemed like a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
After deciding like to publish it and go with the thing, how many poems did you write just for the book, or was it just like you had a stockpile and you just compiled them?
Well, what I did essentially was first go through every single poem I'd ever written, which is all basically in my Google Keep, and sort of labeling them if I felt like they
Mm-hmm.
would fit into this book. And I think for the most part, I was able to complete more than three-quarters of my book from just that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started filtering and then removing stuff, adding stuff. But I don't think I actually wrote a lot just
Mm-hmm.
for the book. Maybe a few poems here and there, which, I was writing through time and felt, hey, maybe, since I am also editing a book, this would be a good fit in there.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Man. I was the day I saw your. I think you posted it on your story or something.
Yes, I did.
I was like, damn, someone is like publishing books and stuff. And then I saw that it was a poem book. I lost my mind.
Yeah, it came as a shock to a lot of people,
Yeah, yeah.
especially my family, who
Oh,
didn't
okay.
really like my parents and my brother obviously knew that I write, but extended family did not really know I write,
Uh,
especially that since I write under a pen name, it was even weird, or
Ah,
it was a
yeah, yeah,
lot
yeah, right.
to process. Like,
Mm.
oh, okay, this is good.
I the first time I saw your pen name, I think somehow I knew. I don't know, maybe like spending 2 years with you somewhere, it would have dropped out.
Maybe it was that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How did that come about, though? The pen name. What was the idea behind choosing your
I
pen
have
name?
always written under a pen name. I started writing under a pen name much before uh, I was comfortable writing under my own name.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when I was 16, one of the thoughts in my head was, if I was writing poetry, would people sort of read it and think, oh my God, is this what Anusha is actually thinking? And I wasn't very
Ah,
comfortable with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And another thing that sort of went through my head was, if it came down to it, people tend to be biased when they read a
True.
book written by an Indian author, or
Mm-hmm.
when you read an author's name, for example, and you can immediately tell where they're from,
Mm-hmm.
you unknowingly make some
Judge.
assumptions about what they're like, where
Very
what they're
true.
writing about, and stuff like
Very
that.
true. Very
So I
true.
wanted to pick a very American sounding name, or a very foreign sounding name that
Mm-hmm.
at the moment when I was 16, people could not really link to me if they read about it online.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but yeah, I was not showing people my poetry when I first started writing, and it really did help become more comfortable with what I was writing in the first place.
Mm-hmm. That is very interesting, though. You like spend some time thinking about it. Those are deep things. Like I don't think people would have. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a poet, so you would be thinking
I
that,
think
that of that bias of people seeing the writer's name and being like, I mean, what will that person know? They're from here, or some
Yeah,
pre-decided
I
stuff.
think I just had a lot more to be scared of back then than I do now.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I'm writing poetry now, I don't care of people knowing whether it's me writing it or if I'm posting under a pen name. But
Mm-hmm.
then with the stuff I was writing, and obviously it was still unfiltered compared to what it is like now, which is still very new.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have been a good idea for people to just read it without some sort of warning that, hey, this is what I mean, this is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
writing. They're two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
That,
I
if
mean,
I'm writing about sadness, doesn't mean I'm sad as a
sad.
person and stuff like that.
True. I mean, that teenage urge is also there to not be sidelined by your community or like your friends group.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
true.
Hmm. Yeah, crazy. I some parts of your book I picked apart to talk about.
Wow, of course.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
I don't know. I like
I'm
some
not worried
I
about
found
this at all.
no, some that I found I don't know, something like very that's something I couldn't put into words, but you've written poems about it, something like that, like super impressive stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, one of
that's
them.
nice. I'm glad you liked some of it.
No, I yeah, bro. You're kidding. Like, it, I don't know. Like, it's kind of unreal that I've seen a person and that person can write so much. Yeah,
Fair warning, though, there's a very good chance I don't know what you're talking about because of how many poems I write, and
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
No, makes
just
sense.
111 of them.
True, true. I mean, then we can just go to your list of best poems that you have.
Sure.
Yeah. So one of them is drowning. It's called drowning.
Okay.
And do you want me to read it to you to refresh your brain?
I think you'll have to because I
Okay.
will not remember them by the title.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be butchering. I don't know how to read poems and stuff, but I'll just
Oh,
read it.
that's okay.
Yeah. I may be drowning in a bathtub. You're drowning in the sea, but if we are both drowning, how can you be different from me? It may take an army to kill you, but for me, it was just an arrow to my heart. It makes no difference if you have armor on or if you were crippled from the start. It doesn't matter if it's a paper cut or a stab wound to your chest. What matters is if it hurt more than you've ever expressed. Just a little trauma is still a big curse. Your pain isn't valid just because someone has it worse. See?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Ah, okay. It's so good, so good. Like The essence
Thank
of,
you.
yeah, that last line capturing the essence of how just because someone is not getting food doesn't mean whatever sorrow you're having is like
Yeah.
invalidated. Bro, why are
I
you
do
crying,
remember
bro? People don't
writing
get
this
food
one
in
also.
Africa. Oh, is it?
Exactly. Right. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because this poem came about from a picture on Pinterest actually, where there was a wolf with multiple arrows to its back, and there was a puppy in front of
Mhm.
it with one arrow and lay there dead.
Oh,
And and there was a quote or something at the bottom that said, just because it didn't kill you doesn't mean it can't kill someone else.
oh.
And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and so often we hear people say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky because you have the things that you have." And I
Mhm.
don't think that's fair when they don't really know what you've faced, and if what you faced is something that crippled you when it shouldn't have, or
True.
in their opinion shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. True, makes sense. And this poem I like picked because this was kind of the thing I was also pondering about, like even before I read your book, that uh, people kind of just judge ki, like you have it all together, you have it all well. That kind of implies ki you are like
Yeah.
100% happy and like satisfied in life, and you are not kind of allowed to complain
Yep.
unless they also catch up to you
It's
and
true.
get to know ki, oh, it's all shit up here also. The one of the classic
Yeah.
examples of this, do you remember when there was this some interview going on with Ananya Pandey, and she told
Yes.
something about struggle, and everybody was
Yeah.
like just, oh, what struggle, you have a dad in the industry,
Struggle with
nepotism, oh. And
yeah.
maybe
I
it is, I
remember
don't
that.
know, I don't know, but like on based of an interview or of like 5 second clip, people just judged off her whole
We can't really judge.
yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
she uh, she has her own kind of problem, right? Like, imagine, like, I don't know how shit works, but imagine her dad introduced her to some director or someone, and like she has that pressure to now perform well because she's
Perform
letting
well,
her
exactly.
dad down if she doesn't. It's like it's fixed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there are like a lot of things that people don't consider and be like, bro, you have it all together. What are
They
you talking
don't.
about?
Like,
Yeah.
again, something that could potentially not hurt you could be a very big deal to someone else. And
Hmm.
I understand that in some cases, it might seem like you're being, what's the word? Being childish about it. You're like,
Hmm.
okay, is this
Spoiled
still a
brat.
paper cut? And
Uh,
I was stabbed and I survived, but that's not the point. The
true.
point is it still hurt.
Hurt. Yeah, true. And this also, I keep thinking, like the actual physical, like when you go through some pain or trauma or something, there is like a physical response that happens in your brain. Like some chemicals are released, and you're like, oh no.
Yes.
But and I think it's like it should be the same chemicals that get released in both the persons, despite of like the third
Exactly.
person's view, right? Like what they're feeling is the
Yep.
same. It's just that you
Yeah.
being the third person outside, you're judging ki, you have it bad, you have it better.
Yep.
Yeah, so that one I really liked. And, and the next one I like, not like, I liked a lot of them. Like, yeah, there was this one more called Nice to Meet You. It is about.
Nice to Oh yeah, I found it. I also have the book open.
Ah, okay. Nice. Do you want to read it?
Sure.
Yeah, go.
Okay. A lot of people know me, but the issue is still the same. What is the title you attach when you hear my name? I am someone's daughter. Yes, that is true. I am someone's ex, someone's first, someone's sister too. I am the niece who ruined the family, and the cousin who paid the way. I might be the mistress, you never know. Might be a bride too someday. Friend, enemy, lover, nightmare. Honey, that is a lot of things to be. So it's a pleasure to meet you. But do tell, how do you want to know me?
See, mic drop on the last line. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this was like very, I don't know, it felt, yeah, shit, man. So true, nice. Yeah, like putting up a persona in front of each one as a different thing. At least that's
Yeah,
why.
but I think it's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do it without even wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I grew up with an older brother, and a lot of times people never knew my name. They would call me, so and so's brother. And while I love my brother, I genuinely do love my brother, it does tend to, sort of put something on your personality that you don't really expect to be there. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't ask for this, and it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's not the first impression you'd want to make on someone, that you are associated with someone and that's your personality.
True. Mm. That is kind of like the curse of predecessing anyone great, but yeah,
That's true.
you like
It is.
yeah, yeah,
Anyone great comes with it. That's true.
yeah. Nobody
It's a blessing
calls.
in a way, really,
True,
because you
true.
get to,
It is. It
yeah,
is. You get like a lot of guidance and a lot of things are handed to you. Not handed to you, but
if,
you have a better path than most people. But it is again, yeah, the same thing.
yeah, your first impression doesn't become your own.
Yeah.
That's
True. I
what,
mean, everybody called it like the Ambani son's wedding. Nobody really called it his wedding.
exactly.
Yeah, that is how it. Uh, but yeah, that was very nice one, dude. You read really nice. I think you should be like, uh, do you know this poets pages where they like sit in front of camera and read stuff, read their poems?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think you should do those.
I did a lot of public speaking in school, so I'm used to the reading part.
Yeah.
Um, Camera, not so much though. I've been trying to do reels on my Instagram page. It
Mhm.
is more time consuming than it seems.
Yeah, true. That is true. I mean, any content creation is actually very hard.
It is, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, given that you're in college also now, maybe with the
Yeah.
academic
It's
work.
just you don't realize it takes that chunk of time. You
Mhm.
think it's easy because the content's there and you just need to post it, except it takes a lot of time to make content presentable.
True, true, it does, it does. This, what is this thing called? Do you know who is Arch Hades?
No.
Oh, okay.
Should I?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, she's also a poet from Britain, I think. And she's,
Okay.
uh, yeah, she's the, like, right now, I'm very happy that I am kind of in a podcast with a poet. Uh, because the first podcast I ever heard was of hers on this
Oh
life's
wow, that's amazing.
yeah life cycle or some podcast on Spotify that she had put on her story. Her poems are really good. I don't know, back in COVID and just after COVID, a lot of her writings I read.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. She is a very
Oh, that's so cool.
very good poet. Yeah, and she had this
It's
thing.
nice when people read poetry.
Uh, true, true,
People
bro.
don't appreciate poetry enough.
How can it? It's like art, no? Yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of times people tend to
Mm-hmm.
read between the lines when it comes to poetry and they find it tedious. So they prefer prose, but
Okay, okay, okay.
poetry
Yeah.
can be straightforward also.
True, true. It opens a lot of doors for them. Like they read it in some
Yeah.
way and starts interpreting in like some hundred ways and start working.
Yeah.
Like man, my doesn't brain doesn't really feel all that great when I read it. True, true. But I have recently been very into poems and ghazals though.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
It happens sometimes. One day in hostel, we were sitting at night, me and my friend. We're
Hmm.
just, exams are over. Nobody really cares about exams in engineering college. So it was more
Yeah,
like
that's true.
on a Friday, we just gave our major project report to the mentor and stuff, and we are back. Don't have anything to do for 2 days now. We're just chilling in the room, some songs and all are going on. And then he's like, "Bro, I think no, we were watching. Someone was watching reels in the room, and some ghazal reel came up, and he's like, "Bro, ghazals are so good. I wish I would be able to write those." And then like 2 hours later, we are like scrolling through random Urdu pages, finding ghazals and like noting them down in a Notion page. Yeah, that was one stupid day.
So cool though, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it is. It is
so little for you to get invested in this kind of stuff.
true. I that is very
You just
impressive.
need to find like four lines that that really hit you and go down like a rabbit.
Sorry, I like it's getting chopped up. Your voice is getting chopped up.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you hear me now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Better.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. What were you telling?
Yeah. So it takes very little for you to get invested in this. Like four lines is the most it'll take for you to sort of go down a rabbit hole and then start
True.
exploring
True.
more stuff. And as you read more stuff starts to get to you, and it's very easy to get invested in poetry.
Hmm. It's kind of fascinating also. Like you're just speaking, and even now when I'm speaking, I'm using like all that like filler stuff. I'm not even able to like articulate what I'm thinking into proper words to just communicate to another human, and to wrap it all in a rhyming scheme and make it make sense and like have a structure on it. Oh, that's just some god level stuff.
I think it just comes with practice because when I first started writing, I started writing prose to, sort of put thoughts into onto paper so it made sense. So that I,
Hmm.
told myself I wasn't crazy. And once I started doing that, I realized how raw your emotions can be on paper. And sometimes it's not, while it is okay for you to think things, you're still supposed to, make your peace with them.
Hmm.
So I started forcing myself to write in a rhyming scheme and sort of, put your thoughts into like a cookie cutter so it fits in a certain way. So when you present it to someone and say, "Hey, I am not crazy," they're not scared because of what you present.
Hmm. Uh, this is also very. I don't know how this happens. Like like when you're writing a poem, is it like you start writing and like stuff just comes to your brain, or is it like you write it and then I don't know, go to rhymes.com and be like, ah, this rhymes, and then you try to fit that rhyming thing in.
Rhymes.com is very helpful, firstly.
Is there a
It
website
is
called
not cheap,
rhymes.com?
although people, there is one called
I just made it
rhymes.com.
up.
No.
Ah, okay.
Rhymes.com is actually a very popular site to find rhyming words, and it gives
Oh.
you like a list with how close it is to the one you're searching
Mm-hmm.
for as well.
Mm-hmm.
People will tell you it's cheating that you're, taking the easy way out. You're not,
Mm-hmm.
because it's fine. You're
True.
not hindering your creative process in any way by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but after a while, it gets easier, unless it's like a really difficult word or it's something that you have not used in a while. You don't tend to, go to rhymes.com. I think you know what it's going to tell you before you
Oh,
search for
okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So you
It,
get to that point. As for how I write, it's a lot of times what I do is I have two or four lines that I sort of want to get across, and
mm-hmm.
then I either end with them, which is the most common way, or I start with them.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely I, start without having a thought in my head and then see where it goes. And if that happens, I'll need to go back at least once or twice to sort of put it into a structure. So it doesn't seem like too many thoughts are in one poem and I'm not trying to convey a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. That is also there with poem writing, I guess. Like you have to make sure it's just concise and clear so that it just phew. it's the right person.
Yeah,
And
because
like,
you're restricting yourself to like lines, and like if you're
mm,
writing like a 16 line poem, which is what I usually try to write, you cannot convey too many thoughts. By the time you get to your point, that is
mm-hmm.
all that you can get. 16 lines, you cannot say, oh, by the way, I also think this. You cannot get to that point in 16 lines.
Yeah, right. No, makes sense. That's one difference from, I think, writing blogs and stuff where you can just go on and on about whatever
Yeah.
for like 1,000 words and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, there is one poem that recently that I think
Hmm.
was very good. I don't know if you know this poet, Edgar Allan Poe.
Love Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, you know that?
Yes. Edgar Allan Poe writes, I mean, I can't quote him, obviously, but I have read his poems. The Raven was one of my favorites
Oh, the one I read
growing.
was Annabel Lee.
Oh, wow. I
Uh,
love Annabelle Lee.
oh, so good, so good. I read it like a couple
So
of days
good.
ago.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, that was very good.
Annabelle Lee is probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
poems of all time. It was
Oh,
amazing.
oh, great. This is very good. You know the poem I'm already talking about. Yeah, see, that is what I mean. Like, it's so nice, like how he has written, how he has depicted. You almost have like a world with that image that he's wanting to portray in it.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Annabelle Lee was such an amazing poem because his rhyme scheme is so intricate in
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps going back to the same words and rhymes them with different stuff, and it's not as simple as it seems. And it was
Mm-hmm.
also fascinating because there's an author called Cassandra Clare who wrote The Mortal Instruments. It's a series, and in one of her many books, she takes a poem literally and brings Annabelle Lee back to life, which I thought was
Oh,
super.
okay.
I know, it blew my
Uh-huh.
mind, and it was amazing how she took it so literally when she said, like there's a tomb by the sea, and she quite literally made a
Mm.
tomb by the sea in her book, and it blew my mind when I
Oh,
read it.
it's like a drawing thing.
It's a YA fantasy book.
But it's
It,
like a
not
graphics
sure
book or
which
like
one it is.
it has words.
It has words. It's a proper, Harry Potter style book.
Ah, okay, okay.
The Phantom's gonna kill me for saying that, but yeah, I absolutely loved her writing as well.
Uh-huh.
I read a lot of it in 11th and 12th actually with Akanksha during
Oh
the
yeah.
breaks and stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember
We
you
just
guys
sit there
reading
reading
books.
the soundtrack.
True. Oh yeah, back then I had no idea books, all this stuff. I was just like, oh, gone. Even,
Yes,
uh-huh.
that seems fair.
Yeah, even.
11th and 12th is a blood.
Oh yeah, true. In like almost till third year, I didn't start reading. I think, yeah, third year last like sixth time I started slowly reading stuff. Uh,
That's
somehow,
nice.
yeah. I haven't read much, but
No, but it
yeah.
takes a time, right? It takes time to go from the mindset that we had in 11th and 12th to sort of engineering, sort of get used to that environment itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it doesn't help if you have friends around whom you tell, "Hey, bro, I'm reading this book," and they're like, "Bro, what are you doing? Why are you reading books? Reading books is for girls."
Reading, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. But then all of them had
Why
a
are you
heartbreak,
reading?
and everybody just went back to reading books. Now almost all of us read books.
Ah, they should have read poetry.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was a very good times. What, like, I'm assuming you would have, your vocabulary mainly comes from reading books, or is it from
I
writing
don't
poems?
think I have a great vocabulary, honestly. I know people assume I do. People assume my grammar is flawless because I write. I don't think so.
Hmm.
I think it's average.
Hmm. No, but that
But
average vocab, where did it come from? Is it from the ICSE
Probably reading. I
engineering?
read a lot as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Probably that as well.
Oh yeah, the ICSE influence, I'll believe you. Like
Oh yeah.
almost all the ICSE people I know are like very much into reading. I don't know. I think they forced you, force fed you English or something.
I read a lot as a kid, so I think I could have
Hmm.
quoted Shakespeare in 10th grade from memory, but like
What?
I think it was probably that. Yeah,
What?
because we had it for boards, and there was this thing that the teachers told us were like, yeah, it's if you're gonna get it wrong, don't quote it. And some part of my 16-year-old brain went, I'm not gonna get it wrong. I am gonna quote it. And I could I could quote Merchant of Venice
Oh,
almost flawless when I was 16.
damn. That's crazy though. Um, Back then, all I knew about Shakespeare was that one of his, uh, there was something, Lamb, no, one of his ballads, I think. Wait.
You read Shakespeare ballads when you were
It
16?
was there in our syllabus. I wasn't reading
Wow,
Shakespeare
okay.
and stuff. Yeah. Uh,
That's cool.
I don't know I can't remember what it was called, but yeah. Sonnet. No, sorry, not ballad. It was sonnet. And it was called, I don't know what it was called. Can't remember. It was something about time being uh, your thing or something like that. I don't remember much. Back then, I used to just study for the exam, and then once the exam's done, it's all slate clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
That was 11th and 12th as well, though, honestly.
Yeah, true. But then in 11th and 12th, the exam felt so far off. It wasn't
Ah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it
That's
was
because you were writing one every week.
true. That is also
So
there.
you just, we were so
It just
used to it
became,
at that point.
yeah,
That unless it was JE means we were not worried about it.
true. And that uh, habit got carried over in engineering also. I'm very thankful to that. Engineering, like I used to read the day before, and as soon as the exams are over, I have no idea what I've written in the answer paper. If you if you give me the same question paper again, I would probably fail. I like
Yeah,
if we
that
hear
about sums it up. That sums up engineering.
it's the tip of my head. I just go scan the question paper fast. If I see that question paper, I quickly write down the main points in like the back
Yeah,
side of
just
the
write it
paper,
down and just forget about it. Yeah.
or it's gone.
Oh my
It's
God, I used to
gone.
do that too.
Yeah, true. It's just not there anymore. Yeah, one more. One of the questions I like to ask people in almost everybody who has come here is what would you tell your younger self who's just entering college like bachelor's, or you could take it
Who's just
as
entering
who is entering
college?
11th standard if you want, either
Oh,
or.
wow.
Okay, yeah, I think we should do
Um,
11th standard. It sounds more interesting.
if I could talk to my
Hmm.
younger self, I would tell her it's going to be okay. Because
Hmm.
I feel like there was a lot going through my head when I was 17, and
Hmm.
a lot of it were genuine problems that I don't think should have been in the head of a 17-year-old.
Hmm.
And as an adult, I feel like I handled it whether I wanted to or not, and it worked out well in the end. So maybe not to worry so much about them. I
Hmm.
think that would have really helped to
Hmm.
hear as well.
Hmm.
And I don't think we heard it often
True. I mean,
enough, at least.
yeah, back then nobody gave a shit about your mental health or like how you are doing as a person.
They did not.
As long as you can tick one of the right boxes out of the four, it's all great.
Yep.
Yeah, that is
But that's
kind
the
of
sad part, right?
true. It is. It is.
Much all we wanted to hear was that we were doing fine.
Yeah.
And we very rarely got to hear that.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just me feeling it. It wasn't that high stakes, like as they made us feel it was.
It was not. It
Yeah,
was not.
I mean, we all ended up in some college. We all ended up doing good in college. We all ended up having some
We all
job.
ended up happy. We
Yeah,
ended up
yeah,
somewhere and we were content
exactly,
with where
exactly.
we
It
ended
was
up.
made to
And I
feel
think,
ki if I get this question wrong, I'll be homeless out on the streets.
yeah,
Yes, that level of
yeah,
fear.
that's how they made.
Yeah, and it wasn't that far. I think.
I am grateful. I am grateful that we
True.
went through it. I'm grateful I put in the effort that we put in when we were in 11th and 12th.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was hard
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
and we did it. And
Mm-hmm.
I have no regrets for doing it, but I feel like at some point people
It
should
could
have
have.
told us,
Yeah, it could have been
in
done
the
in a
off
easier.
chance if you did not do this,
Mm-hmm.
you will still survive.
Yeah. True, true. And that I do miss that version of me that was in 11th and 12th, being able to like concentrate,
Oh God,
understand like complex things going on the
I know,
board.
right?
Now though it's like
We
oh
were studying for like 12 hours and all. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, exactly.
I don't study 12 hours a week now. It like I was doing 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day and all that. So,
Yeah, and we used to go to the mentor, get timetables and stuff. 3 hour sessions you have to do on each
oh my
subject.
God.
Oh my
Oh, I
god,
do not want to think of it.
never genuinely
Trying to
followed those.
balance.
Yeah. Are
I
you a
know,
night
trying to
owl?
balance PUC classes along with IIT class. Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah. At one point, it was very scary. All this is good, but uh, where will I be when this stops? Like this, all this prep, everything. Once the exams are over, there was like this. Oh my God, what do I do now? After,
Yeah, I feel like no one really had the time to think of what happens as soon as you're done with your paper.
right?
I've
Yeah.
never felt so lost for words as I felt when I was done writing and I walked out and I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah, exactly. I felt so jobless that day. Just
Oh
waiting
God.
for. Yeah. Crazy times though.
It was, yeah. That's
Mhm.
one way to put it.
Yeah. What is your all-time favorite poem that you have written?
My all-time favorite poem. Oh my God, I don't think I can pick one.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. You can pick a couple. I don't mind.
I don't know. I feel like when I write poetry and I read back at it, I feel like when I read them, I'm like, oh my God, did I actually write this? And it happens so often. And there are times when I look at it and I cringe also. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when I read stuff that I've written, especially when I was feeling emotional and I've
Mm-hmm.
written something and I completely forget that I felt those emotions, and I go back and I read them, I'm genuinely scared sometimes because of what I've written. But yeah, like I don't think I have a favorite poem.
Mm-hmm.
But the book itself, 111, was, I would say, all of them. It was so difficult to narrow it down to 111 because of how many I wanted to fit. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Nice. But I need you to pull out a poem that you would want to share at
you need
least.
me to pull out a poem. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. This might take a moment, though, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Take all the time you want.
Ooh, I think I found one. It's
Nice.
called Being Me. And honestly, this is one of my favorite poems. I think, the poem I first read to someone when they say, "Oh, you're a poet. Can you read me something you've written?" I think this is
Yes.
like my go-to at the moment.
Very good choice.
So this one's called Being Me.
Hmm.
You want me to read it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Have you wondered what it's like to put yourself in another's shoes? If you could be anything you wanted, what is the life you choose? Would you be an artist, blood replaced by paint? Would you be a doctor, a sinner, or a saint? Would you choose to be in love and this time make it last? Or would you break a million hearts because life's too short and fast? Would you sprint to the mountain tops and scream till you're out of breath? Will you stop playing it safe and flirt a little with death? Would you tell the children stories and claim the legends are true? Would you run and hide or conquer the world? Tell me, what would you do? So ask yourselves this question: who do I want to be? Tell me honestly how many of you answered, I'm happy being me.
Damn. But why do I feel like I've read this somewhere? Did you post
It
it?
is number 11 in the book.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, I know. I've read the book. That's it. It felt familiar. I'm like, where else have I read this? Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Like crazy poems. Nice. What's the plan though? To be like a part-time poet, or to go into some mountains and just push books every
Oh, I
year or
wish.
so?
I wish. No, I don't think, as much as I'd love to do that, I don't think it's a very practical approach to life.
Mhm.
But I do love computer science. I love working in virtual reality. I want a career in it.
Mhm.
And I think being a poet on the side is really helpful.
Hmm.
Obviously, I would love to write prose one day, and hopefully that happens. But right now, poetry is sort of like a safe space where I can write what I want, I can say what I want, and
Mhm.
not scare away people when I do so.
Sure, sure. But I'm assuming you still have a plan of that going into mountains and stuff someday at least.
Oh yeah, that's always gonna be there. If I can make enough
Uh,
money to afford to do that, I
yes.
will do it.
Yeah. That is what it is. No, we all just want enough money so that we don't have to worry about money, and then do stupid shit like open coffee shops, or open a bookstore, or go into mountain and write
It
shit.
is it is concerning how you can tell someone, okay, if you have all the money in the world, what will you do? And you
Mhm.
can, so many of them will say, I want to be an artist of some kind. They'd say, I want to be a dancer, I want to be a musician, I want to
Mhm.
be a writer. And that is sad. It is sad that art doesn't pay, but that is how it is.
True. There was this one theory somewhere with AI taking over like jobs and stuff, and like being more progressively better, uh, AI will start taking off all repetitive automatic jobs like that could be done by robots. And there was this
Mhm.
question: key, what will humans do then? There is this movie Wall-E, I think, in which like humans are just
Yeah.
sitting fat, eating, and like just watching television.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Oh, fun fact, I'm a huge Disney fan. Any Disney movie, any reference, I will know.
yeah. So the theory was key. Will we end up like that? Will we give all work to this big AI tech, and we'll be like just sitting over there eating and being unhealthy and shit? But what they proposed, or like what the thing was, key, all the stuff that could be run by an AI will be done by an AI, and all the humans will then go into this creative fields like painting, drawing, and
Yeah. I
art,
feel like we'd do stuff
entertainment.
that will genuinely make us happy then and stop worrying about whether it's gonna pay the bills,
Hmm.
which
And
is honestly such a big factor when we pick a job. Like, is
oh
can
man,
I afford to be this person?
yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Even me, like doing medical was a thing. I know, even though I studied for JE and stuff, but I don't know
Yeah.
how, but I got like some respectable rank in NEET also. So my family was like all down my throat. They're like, you have to do doctor. Come on.
Be a
Like,
doctor, yeah.
but that takes like 10 years of your life out. You have to be studying for
That
the first 10 years and all that.
takes a lot of dedication to be a doctor.
Yeah. And I couldn't really afford that. I was like, "Nah, I think I need to be earning way earlier." So I was like, yeah, we'll do engineering and then we'll see what to do.
We'll do engineering.
Yeah. Engineering like this is great. You can do whatever the hell you want after
Yeah,
you finish it. Yeah.
it's a safety net at this point.
That was the reason I took ECE also instead of CS. They're like, you take ECE, you can do CS also, you can do ECE also. You have more options if you take ECE.
Yeah, it's like in the off
That's
chance you don't
so
like computer science, you can still do EC.
that's so stupid though. And
Well, you
this
feel
is
like that now. It seemed like a very smart decision when you took it.
true. I mean, to a 18-year-old, year that is these
Oh
words
yeah.
came out of a, like a mentor mouth. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about.
This is such a probably not.
You
Like I
do.
said, like 11th and 12th was a blur in my head.
Okay. But still, you
I
should
might.
know the mentor or like the
Yeah, I
person.
think we know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mentor.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can't really blame them. Also, it was more of my choice at the end of the
We
day.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it all worked out good, I guess. It just
It all worked out.
oh yeah, that this one more thing I was thinking yesterday. I was talking to my friend also about. Imagine if you
Hmm.
have like a mean lifespan of let's say 60 years or something, and then the first 30 years
Okay.
you like worked very hard, like studied so much, built some businesses or like did stuff, and then so you have like so much money or stuff. So the next 30 years of your life you've lived like very peacefully, not worrying much about money or any other thing basically, and you're like you were happy during that time, like those years you don't feel like could have done anything better, it was all good. And then you are on your
Mm-hmm.
deathbed happy and you die happy, it's all good. So now you spent
Mm-hmm.
like 30 years struggling, 30 years in like best space. Also
Okay.
you could do it the other way, like the first 30 years assume ki you just had fun, didn't give two shits and just did whatever you wanted to, and then the next 30 years you like
Mm-hmm.
struggled and you were like uh, very on edge and stuff like that, you couldn't kind of chill out in life because of same things, and on your deathbed you're still like stressed about stuff all this and you died like that. In both scenarios you spent 30 years of your life like happy, like it's subjective but
Yeah.
whatever, like so you get what I mean, right? Which is
Yep.
better? Is it do are we optimizing for maximum time spent happy or ending your life happily? Huh?
Wow, that's such a deep question. But this is what they tell you growing up, right? They're like, just pass your 10th board, you're gonna be happy. Pass your
Exactly.
12th board, you're gonna be happy. It's such a very, it's a question all of us grow up hearing.
Uh-huh.
And if I had a choice,
Uh-huh.
I would pick struggling first because I think the question of what if I had work is gonna eat me away if I did not struggle the first 30 years in this
Mm.
scenario.
Mhm.
And I feel like that would be more painful than struggling for 30 years having a goal in mind. But
Mhm.
maybe that's just me.
Yeah, no, of course, it's all very individual perspectives. No, but
Yeah.
the question is not more about life. It's like even when you're like doing like a small task, are you optimizing for
Mhm.
most amount of happiness that you get during the task, or are you optimizing for when the task is done, you feel happy? That is the
I don't think it's that black and white. It's that
true,
is the
true. Nothing.
task, is the effort you're putting in
Mhm.
actually worth it? I think after a point when you're struggling to do something, you just have to stop and say, is it really worth me putting myself through hell for?
Mhm. But
And if it comes down to that, then maybe stop.
no, yeah, that makes sense. But then imagine something like playing guitar or something. Let's say I'm not very good
Okay.
at playing guitar. There's no like real outcome gonna come out of this. But I like doing it. Like I
Hmm.
like playing guitar. Maybe this is a wrong example, but yeah,
Okay.
let's just say that.
No, I
I
mean, you're doing good so far.
yeah, yeah. So I like playing
Okay.
guitar, but it's not something people would want to hear, or I'm very proud of showing it to others. It's just for me. I just play for some time, and it's like all good. Wait, done. You see that in this, the act is what is bringing me joy rather than the outcome.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But the minute you sort of put a restriction on it, saying, okay, so now I have to perform to people,
Yeah.
and while you're okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
you still struggle to be good enough for what you think is good enough,
True.
then it takes away the joy
Yeah.
that made you pick up a guitar in the first place. So maybe it's not worth doing all of that if it's not making you happy anymore.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. What else is going on?
Uh, Not much, honestly. I'm almost done with my second semester.
Mm-hmm.
I should be in India sometime soon,
Oh, we
and I
should
have
catch up.
another year to go.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
Yeah. Ah.
Long overdue.
Yes. Easy Blossoms meetup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, though. I didn't know
Of course.
if you
Thank
would
you
have.
so much for having me.
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
was
This is very. This is kind of like a dream come true for me. Having a poet over and sitting them talking them through their process of writing and stuff and how they think.
I'm so glad you reached out for this. This was so amazing. This was such a nice opportunity to catch up with you.
Yeah. Do you wanna tell us to where people would wanna find you or the book?
Sure. Yeah. So you can reach out to me on my Instagram. The handle is Alexa Rose Milton. And if you want to check out my book, it's A Ballet of Solitude and it's out on Amazon. And I would really, really appreciate any sort of support.
Yes, to check it out. Good book though. Very good book. I didn't expect it to be that good. I think it's because it's again that same thing. Because I know you. It's like that is a human. I know. Like I've been around them. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I read it. I'm like, oh my god. And then I was like, do you wanna come on? Fast, come on. Yeah. Crazy book though. Yeah. Keep going. We'll
Thank
have
you.
you on again for when the Ballet of Solitude 2 drops. Or
Oh, yeah.
whatever you want to call your next book. Yeah.
We'll get there eventually.
It will. It
It's a
will.
slow process, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is the thing with creative stuff. You can't really rush it. It just happens as it happens. Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you, Anusha, for coming on.
Of course. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me.
See you.